Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's me today, and today we'll be rating championship teams. What's it called? Transfer window, summer transfer window so far. So, so we got serious business, which is where all the best teams, best business will go. Obviously, great, good, need to do more, and horrible, which is obviously where the worst teams to go. So, anyway, let's go kick it off with Birmingham. So Birmingham built John Solis from Girona for 7.5 million, and then Luis Vasquez for 3.5 million. Uh, I mean, both of them are relatively young, and um, yeah. So I don't really, I don't watch. No, I don't watch the Spanish or Belgian leagues so much. So that I'm not gonna know a load of these players, but I mean, they could be good. I mean, Girona just getting relegated from La Liga and Anderlecht being a very good team in Belgium, so they might be decent players. Anyway, and then got Dale Fry on a free transfer from Middlesbrough, which is a really good business. He's a solid championship defender and probably top tier defender. So yeah, and then James Beadle obviously coming back from on loan again, which I don't know. I don't really rate him, but then again, he's young, so he could advance. But then out they got um out they've got Kai Wagner for where they received 3.5 from Philadelphia Union, and then they got Kyogo Furuhashi, who obviously last season was really bad. He only scored one goal or something, so I'm not surprised he's gone. But they got 1.2 million, which is quite crap, honestly. Then Jonathan Panzo has gone on a free. They've released him, I think. So yeah. So in terms of that transfer window, I think it's I think it's one of these two. It's not one of these two, and I don't think it's horrible. I'll put in good for now because I do like the signing of Dale Fry on a free. That is a really good signing. Uh, Next, Blackburn. Blackburn haven't really done much in this window, but they got Musa Baraji from Juventus Sport in Switzerland for 1.1 million. I can't really say anything about him because I don't know who he is anyway. And then they bought Jaden Fevier from Stockport for 580k, which I don't think it's bad. He's not a bad player, but I'm not sure if he's championship quality yet. Maybe top end League One at best. Maybe he should stick with Stockport, but yeah. And then outgoings they got they've released Ryan Hedges, Sondre Tronstad, Nathan Redmond. And then obviously Gardner Hickman has gone back to Birmingham. So, I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I'm gonna put them need to do more. Yeah, I'm gonna put them need to do more because they've not really started any business. So yeah, Bolton. So Bolton have bought Lucas Stevenson for 820k from Liverpool under 21s. Then Gazek Lazabal on a free transfer from Portugal. No clue who he is, and yeah. David Watson from Kilmarnock. Now I've heard he was wanted by Rangers and top end Scottish people. So yeah. Ben Davies obviously from Rangers on a free transfer, which very experienced centre back and good centre back. He's only 30, so he's not too old either. So that's a good signing. I mean, they probably need to do. Okay, anyway, Akin Fenwell as well. Undisclosed fee from Hull City. Obviously, Hull City getting promoted. I mean, he's a solid Championship defender, isn't he? So yeah, that's really all you can ask for. And then Killian Dong on loan from Augsburg. So I don't really know enough about him. Then outgoings, they got Sean, who's gone for 600k. George Johnston on a free, lost on a free. Kyle Dempsey on a free. Carlos Mendes, Mason Burstow, Johnny Kenny, and Ibrahim Sissoko have all gone back to their clubs. So I don't think it's a bad window. I think it's quite good for Bolton. So I'm gonna put them good. I'm gonna put them above Birmingham because I think Birmingham. I think for a side that's just come up through the playoffs, I don't think that's bad. I like signing of Lucas Stevenson from Liverpool and 21s and then David Watson as well. Ben Davies and Akin Fenwell on a free transfer though is really good business. Bristol City next. I would say they bought Laurent Tolage for 4.5 million, which I do think is a good signing. But whether he'd worth 4 million, I'm not sure. Obviously, had a great season at Plymouth. So, yeah. And then, I don't know, but we got a lad from Maccabi Haifa for 2 million who I've never heard of, so I'm not quite sure about them, but we'll see. They've also signed Sam Greenwood who used to play for Leeds from Poland, for 2 million, so yeah, he's still relatively young at 24. He's probably a decent Championship player. He's definitely not top end, but yeah, he could improve. Then we got Jed Wallace from West Brom on a free, which he is aging he is 32, but he's still a decent player for Championship. Brad Collins from Coventry on a free, so he'll probably be back up. And then Sam Tickle for an undisclosed fee, which, I mean, he's been wanting a Championship move for ages now, so. But I'm not. Hopefully he can prove himself, but I don't know. He's a bit unproven, but yeah. And then outgoings, they finally got rid of Sinclair Armstrong. Never know why they got him in the first place. Ross McCrory to Rangers, which, I mean, it's a bit of a blow, but I don't think it's that big of a blow. Mark Sykes, Joe Lumley, Sam Morsey, Harry Cornick, and obviously Delano Berzorg and Radek Vitek has gone back to their clubs. So yeah, I think it's a great transfer window. I think Bristol City are trying to finally spend money, which they haven't in a long time, and yeah, they've upgraded in positions they needed, like striker and goalkeeper. So yeah, right, Burnley. They bought Florentino Perez for 24 million. That's a lot of money. Obviously, he was on loan to them last season. They bought Hugo Raghuber from Lille for 5 million. Never heard of the guy, so can't really comment. And then Luke Castel from Espanyol B. And obviously, Florentino Perez is going to be quite a good player, but yeah, so. And then in exchange, they've lost quite a lot of players. They've lost Maxim Estev, who was one of the best Championship players last time. Jadon Anthony for 17 million. Oh, So they've lost Maxim Sev to Leipzig for 25 million, Jadon Anthony to Brentford for 17 million, Luka Kolosho to Paris FC for 14, Leslie Ugochukwu has gone on loan to Galatasaray, Martin Dubravka less than a free to Spurs, Owen Dodson Chuana, who's gone to Coventry, Clinchy Hartman, who's gone on loan to Espanyol, Axel Transebe, Ashley Barnes, and then James Ward-Prowse has gone back to West Ham. So I think Burnley, I think their transfer window has been horrible, realistically. Yeah, Florentino is quite a good signing, but they've lost a lot of their core squad members, like Maxim Esteve and Jadon Anthony specifically, and are really, really bad blows. So, yeah. Next up, Cardiff City. So, we've not really done a lot, Cardiff, but they signed Nathan Trott from Copenhagen, so I guess that's good. But then they've not. There's not really done a lot, but except Ryan Wintle going to MK Dons, which I think was one of their best players last season. I mean, he made Team of the Season in League One, so yeah. I think Cardiff. Where do you put Cardiff? I think it's better than Blackburn's purely for the Nathan Trott deal, and so yeah. But I think they could replace Ryan Wintle. Charlton. So Charlton have signed Danny McNara from Millwall on a free, Karlon Grant on a free, which they are decent Championship players. I think they're good for Charlton, but yeah. Billy Kumitio from Dundee. Never really watched him, so I can't really comment. Milanic Ali. I do like him. I saw him when I went to watch Derby vs Luton, obviously. That's when he scored against Luton against Derby to win the game in the relegation battle in 24-25. So yeah, he looks quite, and also he was at Portsmouth last year. He's a decent Championship player as well. So yeah, I think he could do a lot of stuff. Then Ivan Mesic, who's come from the Netherlands, who I can't really comment on again. And then they lost Terry Taylor to Stevenage on a free, Kaheem Dixon, Alex Mitchell, Karoy Anderson, Macaulay Gillespie, and Luke Berry. So, and Connor Cody has gone back to Wrexham. I mean, they definitely have to do more. I'll put them at the top. I think it's better than these two transfer windows. Definitely, but I think it's do more. I do like the additions of Karlon Grant, Danny McNara, and Milanic Ali. And then I don't think they've released anyone that particularly affects them. So, yeah, I think that's good. Anyway, alright, next, my team, Derby. Right, we've signed Bobby Clark, which is on for 8 million, which I would say is a steal. I thought we were gonna have to pay way more for him, but yeah, it turns out we don't. But Bobby Clark is an amazing young player. Obviously, he was nominated for Championship Young Player of the Season last season, and then he won Derby's Young Player of the Season, and he's just a very crucial player for us. So, yeah. And then we signed Charlie Taylor on a free transfer from Southampton, which he's 32, but he's only going to be backup, and I think it's needed as we got no backup fullback at the minute. Well, we've not got very good backup fullbacks at the minute after losing Callum Elder. Well, releasing Callum Elder, so yeah. And then this Philippe Beja guy from SC Paderborn in Germany on a free transfer. Now I've looked at his stats. He's got like 14 goals, which for an attacking midfielder is very good. So, well, he plays on the wings, and we do need a winger. So I would say that's quite a good piece of business. Obviously Kenzo Goodmine and Andy Weimann has come back from their loans, and then we have released Jake Rooney, Callum Elder, Ben Osborne. We have released Andy Weimann as well, and Danny Bart. Which, looking at that, I don't think there's anyone that's really going to affect us. I think the most major one is Callum Elder. Jake Rooney's young and is really a National League player, so yeah. Then Ben Osborne, he was pretty crap for us, so I'm happy he's gone. Andy Weimann never really played, but he did score a last-minute winner against West Brom last season to get us our first win of the season last season, so he's alright. And then, yeah, Danny Bart, he was backup centre-back, but he didn't get many minutes last season over Matt Clark, Dion Sanderson, and Sondre Langer, so yeah. And then, obviously, we're heavily rumoured with Shami Spadix, which I saw on TikTok that he could have signed, but actually I'll check now. I mean, anything pops up on TikTok, which is mainly not true, but it was by the Derby Digest on TikTok, so no news on it at the minute, but we're heavily linked with Sammy Smodix, which I think would be a good signing, so I'm going to put us above. I'm going to put us in the middle of good, because I do think we need to do a little bit more, but the signings we have made so far are looking promising, especially that Bobby Clark signing, which is, I can't tell you how crucial that is for us, but yeah, anyway. Next up, Lincoln. They signed a guy from Romania who I've never heard of for 3 million, so I don't know. Then they've signed Callum Elder from us, obviously, which isn't a bad signing. He was all right in the Championship last season, in fairness to him, but he's he's an all right wing back, and he's a bit dodgy defensively, but you know he'll get you the job done. And then Joe Gauchi from Aston Villa on loan, who's 26. I mean, he's only ever played in League One, so we'll see how he is, but yeah. And obviously, then outgoing is MJ Kamara, who's gone to Hearts on a free, Eric Ring to Kilmarnock, JJ McKinnon to Bromley, Zach Geacock to Northampton. So I don't think any of these are really crucial. But they have lost their manager, Michael Skubala, to Bristol City. So that is definitely not good for them, but so yeah. Lincoln, I think I'm going to have to put in the bottom of horrible. They've not really done any business that convinced me that they're going to stay up. Callum Elder is a decent bit of business, but he's not going to do it all by himself. Right, then we got Middlesbrough. So they have signed Will Lancashire, a new striker, for 11.7 million. Obviously, did a good job at a relegated Oxford last year, so I think we can be excited for him again. Carl Joseph, another striker, he did decent off the bench for Hull last season, obviously playing behind Ollie McBurney. Jeremy Sarmiento, which he did. I don't know about Jeremy Sarmiento. He's an alright player, but I don't know if he didn't stand out to me. So yeah, Sebastian Berhalter for 1.75 million, who I do think is a very good player. I think they had to replace Hayden Hackney, and they've done just that. I think Sebastian Berhalter for 1.75 million is a steal. So yeah, and then they've bought Miles Part Harris. Obviously, I don't think he's going to start, but I think he'll be a bench player, which I think on a free transfer is good. So then the outgoings, obviously Hayden Hackney. We all knew he was going to leave eventually, but I think Middlesbrough have got 19, pretty much 20 million is good valuation, good bit of money. So I think that's a good piece of business, and they've replaced him with with Sebastian Berhalter, which I think could be a very good signing. So yeah. Then obviously Dale Fry to Birmingham, which is quite a big loss. So and Dan Barlaser, who on a free transfer to MK Dons, which I don't really care about. I don't think they really need. Marcus Forss. They've released Marcus Forss, Alex Gilbert, Dara Lennon, Sam Silvera, which I don't think they need any of those players, so it's alright. Then Alan Brown has obviously gone back to Sunderland. Middlesbrough, I think there's some. I think Middlesbrough has done some very good business here. I think with the business they've done, I think they could get promoted. I think what's stopping them is just getting that centre back they need. But except for that, I think they could go up with all those signings. Millwall sign a guy from Romania for 4 million, who I can't really comment on. A guy from the French second division, again for 3 million. I can't really comment on. Elkan Baggett from Ipswich. I mean, he's 23. I don't know. I think it's just squad depth, but I don't know. It's a bit of a dodgy signing that. I don't know. I don't know. Mark Sykes from Bristol City on a free, which isn't bad business. It's quite good business, if I'm honest, but he's an alright winger. Kyrell Lisby obviously did very well for Peterborough last season. Yeah, that's really all I can say. He can. I mean, it's very. And then Jensen Metcalf again, who did very well for Bradford. So I think they've done quite good, decent business. And then they've lost Danny McNara on a free to Charlton, obviously. Billy Mitchell on a free. Wes Harden on a free. Macaulay Langstaff has gone. Adam Mayer, Barry Bannon, Massimo Luongo, who they've released. Joe Bryan, who they've also released. And Anthony Pasterson, Wilson Morbone, and Tiano Ballo have all left to go to back to their clubs. I mean, I don't see anyone that could really do anything for them. Barry Bannon, I don't even know why they bought him, if I'm honest, for Wednesday just to take him back, and then yeah, Billy Mitchell. I think the biggest loss is Billy Mitchell, but I think they could replace. I think Jensen Metcalf. They have tried to replace him in Jensen Metcalf, but whether Jensen Metcalf can do that job or do it as well is questionable. But Millwall, I'm gonna put them beneath Charlton. I think they do need to do more. But yeah, they did. I don't think they've not really signed any championship proven players except for Mark Sykes. So yeah, Norwich. Now, Norwich, I think will spend a lot, but they've not spent a load yet this season. So they bought Sam Field from QPR, which is an alright signing. I think they got I think he's just going to be cover. I don't think he's going to start because I think Norwich will try like get promoted this season, go for the title. So yeah. Bruno Alves on a loan from Brazil, from Cruzeiro in Brazil. So don't really know, but and then I think the staple is Andre Brooks from Sheffield United. A young player, I think, could do very well for Norwich. So yeah. And then they've lost Tony Springer, George Long, Emiliano Marcondes, Shane Duffy, Jeffrey Schlupp, I mean, Daniel Barden, and then, yeah. And then Harry Amas has gone back to Man United. I think Norwich, I think I'm going to put them in. I'm going to put them just beneath Millwall. I think they've done some alright business, but I think they do need to do more if they want to be going up. They've already got a load of amazing players, but I still think they need some improvement, especially in that defence. Right. Portsmouth. Portsmouth has signed Marko Milanovic from Almeria in Spain, Rocco Sheen from Norway, if I'm honest, they've not really signed any players I recognise, except for Odin Bailey from Stockport, which I don't think is bad for them. I think they have signed a striker which they definitely needed an upgrade on Colby Bishop, but yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but I don't really recognise any of these players. And then out is Andre Dozzle, Ruben Swan, Jordan Williams, Mackenzie Kirk, Toby Stewart, Harry Clout, Jordan Archer, Gustavo Caballero. Oh wait, no, not Jordan Archer, and then Connor Chaplin, Milenic Ali, Agi Elise, Jacob Brown, and Gustavo Caballero have all gone back to their clubs. I think I'm going to put Portsmouth at the bottom of good. They signed that striker that they really need. I don't know if he's good. I don't know, but they've at least signed one, and I think Odin Bailey is an alright piece of business too. Preston. They have finally bought Alfie Devine for 5.3 million. I think that's a very good signing for Preston. I mean, it was definitely. I could have predicted it, but I think it's a very good piece of business. So, yeah. Lee Nichols from Huddersfield, which is, I think it's just going to be back up into, and Yusuf Arabi from Genk on a loan. So they signed another striker. And then out they've got Michael Smith, James Pradich, Noah Mwenny, Jack Walton, Robbie Brady, Will Keane, Jamal Lewis, Daniel Jebsen, and Lewis Dobbin and Milos Lukovic have all gone back to their clubs. So I think that, except for that Alfie Devine signing, I think Preston need to do a little more. I think they've not really done any business, so need to do more. Queen's Park Rangers next. So they've signed Callum Ward from Motherwell for goalie, so it's alright. I mean, I don't really watch the Scottish League, so I can't really comment. Tariq Lamptey. I mean, he's obviously for Fiorentina Florentino underperformed this season, so clearly he's not been good for them if he's been sent to QPR. But I mean, I think he could be decent for them. So we would just have to see. Boy Kemper from the Netherlands on a free transfer, which I can't really comment about. Don't watch the Dutch league. And then Pierce Charles from Man City on a loan, which is quite good business as well. So, and then they've got rid of Samfield, obviously, and then Zanzilar, Murphy Cooper, Paul Nardi, Steve Cook, Isaac Hayden, Joe Walsh, Ben Hamer, and Reece Norton Davis have all gone. So, I don't think they've released anyone they particularly need. I mean, I think they should have kept Paul Nardi. But except for that, they've not really lost anyone I would say is very important. So, I think, again, I think they need to do more. I mean, I do like the signings of Tariq Lamptey and Pierce Charles, but I do still think they need to do a lot more. Right. Sheffield United. They have signed Matt Doherty from Wolves, who obviously got relegated last season, but I still think he could be a decent Championship player, especially at right back. They need defenders, and I mean, I don't think he'll play over Femi Sariki, but he's definitely good. He's definitely quality black backup. And then Ramel Donovan, I watched Chesterfield versus Sheffield United in the friendly, and Ramel Donovan did look dangerous. I know it was only Chesterfield, but I think when Sheffield United brought him off, then that's when they stopped doing anything really, because it ended 0-0. But yeah, that's really it for them. And then leaving Andrei Brooks, Mikhail Polondakov, Alex Matov, Ben Mee, Danny Ings, Tom Davis, Luke Faxon, and then Calvin Phillips, Tyler Binden, Leo Helge, and Jibril Samare have all gone back to their normal clubs. So, I mean, it's a bit of a stinker, really. I don't think. I mean, I don't mind the signings they have made, but I think they got to do a hell of a lot more, especially losing a lot of players. Well, not key players, but alright players. Like Tyler Binden and Andrew Brooks. So, I don't know, we'll have to see, but I think Sheffield United without the parachute payments could be a bit in trouble, but, you know, it's all good. Right. Southampton. Right. Southampton have signed Lewis Dobbin for 10 million from Aston Villa, which Lewis Dobbin is a good player, don't get me wrong, but 10 million worth, I'm not sure. I mean, but he is a good player, so he'll definitely do well at Southampton. But they do already have a lot of wingers, so. Daniel Perez, which is a really great signing for Bayern Munich as well, for 8 million. That is a very good signing. He's already Premier League level. We saw against Arsenal how good he can be, and he is quality. So yeah, and then Kyle Larin from Mallorca, who is also very, very, very good. Obviously went to the World Cup, did score in the World Cup too, so for Canada. For only 3 million, I think that is a very good signing. And then George Long, I'm assuming back up from Norwich. And then they got a bunch of guys coming back from loan. And then leaving, they got Alex McCarthy, Charlie Taylor, Orel Romeu, George Long, Ross Stewart, Joe Aribo, Jamie Jones, Will Smallbone. Yeah. I think the only big loss there is Ross Stewart. Ross Stewart can be good can be really good, but but they got Kyle Larin now, so I think they'll be all right. So Southampton, I think I'm gonna put them in serious business. Are they in front of Borough though? I think for Daniel Peretz and Kyle Larin, I think they gotta be ahead of Borough. I think Borough have been good, but I think Southampton have just Southampton with that squad. I think could be like title challengers. So yeah. And then we got Stoke next. Stoke. They bought Ethan Galbraith for 11.6 million from Swansea. Milan Schmidt, DeGilbray, Samare, Luke Graham, Savante Ingleson from Wednesday, and Josh Griffiths from West Brom. I liked Ethan Galbraith is a very good player, but 11 million for not even Swansea's best player. Probably not even Swansea's second best player actually. But he can be very good. Milan Schmidt, 5 million. I don't watch the Dutch league again. DeGilbray Samare for 4 million. I don't like that signing, if I'm honest. I think he was not good for Sheffield United, and I don't know why Stoke bought him. Luke Graham, never watched him, but he might be good. Savante Ingleson, for only 1 million, I think it's an alright signing. I think it's an alright signing. I don't think there's not really anything to complain, really. And Josh Griffiths for backup is a decent little backup keeper, so yeah. And then they've lost Lewis Baker, Emil Tezgal on loan, Nathan Lowe on loan. Then they lost Steven Nzonzi, Nikola Jojic, and then Divock Mubama have gone back to City. I'm going to put Stoke just ahead of Portsmouth in good. Because I think, well, they have made some good signings. I don't know, they've spent 24 million and half of that on Ethan Galbraith, so I don't mind it, but I definitely do not like the signing of DeGilbray Samare. I think that's a crap sign. Swansea not really got to do much yet, so but they've signed Joseph Apoku from Belgium for 6.5 million. Don't watch the Belgian league. Elijah Just, though, even though he does play in Scotland, which I don't watch every week, but he's well liked in Motherwell, who's just finished in Europe, and he was quite good for New Zealand in the World Cup, so yeah. Low Walter from Sweden for 3.4 million, never watched him. Stephen Welsh, good little signing on a free as well, so yeah. And then they've lost Ethan Galbraith for 11.6 million, which is great. I don't know how Swansea have pulled that off, but yeah, I think that's pretty good. Josh Thomas on free to Fleetwood, so clearly not very good. Ricardo Santos, which I don't think they'll really be bothered about because really he's not done anything. He's not played I don't think he's played a single minute for them, so I don't know why they would care about it. So Swansea, I'm going to put in. I'm going to put above, in between us and Derby and Birmingham. So I think I do like the signing of Elijah Just. And Stephen Welsh on a free transfer is an alright signing too. And also actually, I'm going to put Swansea here because off 11.6 million for Ethan Galbraith is ridiculous. I don't know how they got that. And then we got Watford, who have signed Luka Kujgaard from Udinese, who I think played there last season and was crap, so I don't know. It could be an alright signing. Iker Bravo from Udinese and Omar Chiriano. They're not really. Czech Videtsi, they've lost, which is a major blow. Except for that, there's not really anyone else they care about. I'm still gonna put Watford here because they're probably gonna lose a lot of managers. They're probably gonna sack a load of managers again this season. And they're not. They just. It's hard when they're getting used as a second team, really, because they just get players from Udinese every year, which are just stinking it up. So yeah, they got going horrible. And then we got West Brom, signed Barney Stewart from Falkirk for 1.5 million. Don't watch Falkirk, so yeah. Jimmy J Morgan from Chelsea for 1.5 million. So I think that could be good for them. Nolan Galves, 1 million from second division in France. So can't really comment. Connor Townsend on free is an alright signing. He is 33, but he's just going to be backup. And Matt Ingram as backup keeper is alright as well. So, and then they've lost Daryl DK, Jed Wallace, Carl Angeran, Josh Griffiths, Joe Wildsmith. Yeah. I'm gonna put West Brom in. Except for Jimmy J Morgan, they're not really done out. So I do think they need to do more. West Ham. They've only signed a guy from Colombia for 1.15 million, so I can't really say anything about them. But they've sold Mateus Fernandez for, it says on Transfermarkt, 99 million, which is absolutely outrageous. But I know the original transfer fee was 85, so yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous. How that is a lot of money. Then Christ, they've also sold Somerville for 64.5 million to Al Hilal, which again very good. Is a lot of money. So I think they'll be wrecking forces. Callum Wilson on a free transfer. Again, I don't think they really care. I think they could probably sign better strikers. Lucas Fabianski is retired, which at 41, so which isn't really a blow because they weren't going to start him anyway. Adama Traore is also released. So. West Ham, I got bottom or do more because they're not really done out, but actually I'm going to put them bottom or good because they've not done out, but they've made 163.5 million on transfers, so I wouldn't say that's bad. Then Wolves have signed Rafiki Siad, who's from Belgium, and I don't watch the Belgian league. Krejci, I think, will be a good transfer for them, especially for 7.5 million. He did decent in the World Cup, and he was all right in the Premier League. He can play. He's very versatile and can play midfield. Raul Jimenez, he's going to tear this league apart. Yeah, that's really. He's an absolute goal machine, and scored a lot of goals for Fulham. Well, was main man for Fulham. Kieran Trippier, which is also a good signing. And then they have lost Joao Gomez for 40 million to Aston Villa, which is good. Matt Doherty to Sheffield United, which I don't think they're really going to be bothered about. Tolu on loan to Ajax, which, I mean, he was literally disturbing their training sessions, so I think it's good he's gone. And then Angel Gomez has gone back to Marseille, so. I'm going to put Wolves in. I'll put Swansea in great. I think Raul Jimenez and Krejci and Tripp. Actually, I'm going to put them bottom of serious business because Krejci, Jimenez, and Trippier are very good signings for this level and probably should be playing Premier League. So, yeah. And then, last but not least, we got Wrexham, who have not done out. So, can't really rank them. And the only really guy who can say it's a massive loss is Issa Kabore at the end of the loan. Oh my god, they've let Paul Mullin go. He's an absolute Wrexham legend. So anyway, yeah, Wrexham, we'll put him in. Hold on. There you go. Just Wrexham, because they've not done it. And by the way, I think I'm going to bump up West Ham to there, because they've managed to give Jarrod Bowen a new contract. And he was getting... And people said he should have been called up to the England squad, so... He's going to absolutely tear this league apart on another level that we've never seen before, so... Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Hope you like my list, and... Goodbye!